I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to say no.
I understand.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Don't feel obligated.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Okay.
All right, Sistas fans. Now, if I could, I would just give Bayo the biggest round of applause yet, because so far, and I mean, this could be ruined now as the show goes on, but he has proven himself to not be a huge simp to the sisters. More specifically, Sabrina, but you could argue, well, Jeremy, he sent a truckload of flowers to Sabrina at the bank, and, he's offered to take her, to his country, this, that, and the third. Yeah, but he's a prince, so he can do what he wants. But it's just the fact that he's one of the first men on the show that I can recall telling one of these women no. And thank goodness he did so when Sabrina asked for $1.5 million. Now, thankfully, Bayo pretty much was saying all the things I was saying myself, like, it would make no sense for him to give up that money because he doesn't even know Maurice like that. He's only going off of Sabrina's word that he wouldn't run, that he wouldn't be involved with somebody to rob a bank and, this, that, and the third. But he was involved with somebody who robbed the bank. And we don't know if Maurice would run. And again, he doesn't know Maurice like that at all. He barely knows him from the bank. Like when Sabrina mentions that he works at the bank, it's like, oh yes, I do think I remember him. But on top of that, I said this before when somebody was like, man, he should have gave her the money to get him out. And I'm like, well, the thing is, Sabrina's taking no risk at all. Sure, she's taking the risk of asking the question or the request and getting a no, but Bayo's the one putting up all the money. So in the event Maurice runs, or let's say something happens where he can't make it to the courthouse, Bayo loses all that money. Sabrina doesn't lose anything because she didn't risk anything. So Bayo from there kind of reads the room. It's like, you know what? I think I should leave. What? Why? Well, it's kind of awkward now. I mean, yeah, because the only reason you called him over there, Sabrina, was to ask for money. And the fact that he said no, what's the reason for him to sit there in your living room anymore? Because he knows it's just like going to be anything after this statement or anything after his rejection of your request. There's really nothing that needs to be said here. I mean, sure, he hears about the situation and asks, is there anything I can do? But, once the request is laid out, it's just like, yeah, I don't think so. Now, at first, I thought Tyler was going to... And I got to applaud Tyler Perry for this because he set it up where I thought he was going to write Bayo to be a homophobic. And it's like, oh, well, the reason he's not helping Maurice is because Maurice is gay. And, he doesn't like gay people because of his home country. They don't look at, homosexuals as good people. But no, it's the fact that how is Maurice a good person if he would go out with somebody who clearly isn't a good person because he robs banks? So basically, I don't think it was just a statement about Maurice not being a good person for interacting with Q. I think it was a statement about Maurice not being a good judge of character and making poor decisions. So if I put up almost $2 million and he interacts with a thief, he might be a thief inadvertently by running, So this is just another example of Maurice's poor decision making, keeping bad company, affecting his chance at freedom. So from there, Sabrina, Bayo does say, I do want to see you again. But Sabrina says, that sounds like a good idea, but I'm just too preoccupied with Maurice right now. So she didn't completely turn him down, but it's unlikely they'll see each other anytime soon because it's going to be quite a while before, Maurice gets out of jail. Now, to throw it to Danny at the end of the episode where she pretty much, tells Sabrina what we've all been thinking, you can't help everybody. Maurice got himself into this mess. I wouldn't mind Bayo and Sabrina going out on a date. And it's not that Sabrina's making light of the situation with Maurice. It's just that there's literally nothing that can be done. There's no way, even if they had a fundraiser at the Pride Bar or whatever, there's no way they can get that $1.5 million. The best they can do is just wait until they go to court. That's literally it. It's not like Danny. It's kind of funny though how you have Danny who is, getting on, who's nagging Andy about not doing everything she can do to get Sabrina out. But then she tells Sabrina, hey, you've done all you can do. Calm down. You can't save everybody. Interesting how her attitude changes and she doesn't keep that same energy for Maurice. And I get it because Maurice isn't, part of the friend group or whatnot, but it's just one of those things that kind of bugs me a little bit about the inconsistency of how these characters react to situations, but it is what it is. I just wonder if it would have been written slightly better if Sabrina was nervous, not so much about Maurice being, in a place that he couldn't handle, but more so in a paranoid state of, what if he does turn on me? Because she always tries to see the bright side of Maurice and people she interacts with that walk all over her, but that just could be a sign of naivete or airheadedness. But I think that would have been a better way to write Sabrina in this situation, where even though she's free, Andy spent millions to get her out. She's worried because if Maurice signs those papers and he's free, then he could testify against her. But then that goes back to something I've been saying for about a month now. If it did come down to that, and it's Maurice versus Sabrina, Sabrina has a much stronger alibi, not to mention allies in her corner. What is Maurice going to do? Okay, he has John Williams, but that's it. And Andy's already whooped his butt. Well, that was before he was an attorney, so I don't know. Either way, it wouldn't look too good for Maurice if he ended up turning traitor on Sabrina. But yeah, I'm just glad Bayo said no. Even if he and Sabrina never went out again, he's one of my favorite characters now. Even though, what if he's involved with that human trafficking thing that Logan was trying to stop at the airport and yada, yada, yada. But for now, I'm just going to take the, victories where I can with these characters. But how do you feel about it? I'm just so glad Bayo didn't give up the money, because he literally said everything I was hoping for his character. Because if he did give over the money, I would be mad, because again, it just shows that Tyler writes these huge storylines of, oh, it's going to cost millions to get this character out. So then he has to write in ridiculous circumstances where, here's how the sisters can get these millions of dollars because these men have money. No, it doesn't make sense. So with that being said, how do you feel about Bayo saying no? It's funny how Calvin got in a huff about it, acting like, he really got money. He's legit. No, he is legit, Calvin. You aren't, because, don't be mad that you don't have the money to get Maurice out, even though you and him are both responsible for the situation, but it is what it is. Also, just throwing this out there. In the off chance Sabrina was still behind bars and she called Bayo, do you think he would help her out? Just throwing that out there. I don't think he would. Not saying he should either, but what do you think? So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.